Welcome to Race Talk Live with Matt and Willie. What's going on, Matt?
Not much, you?
Busy, 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 man. Seem like you just feet's going a mile a minute and can't catch up.
It's all right. It's the last show of the year.
Last show of the year, but down here, I'm liking the weather. You said something about what y'all gonna get? What 8 inches?
8 inches overnight of snow tonight.
8 inches, and y'all act like nothing happens.
hmm All I got to do is leave a little bit earlier for work tomorrow.
Yeah, we get 8 inches down here, and you got people running out of bread. You got people let's see, going to get the bread. No, no, no. I take it back. If we get flurries, you're out of bread, you're out of milk, all that's gone. Well, we already out of all that stuff anyway down here in the States. I mean, supply chains got real bad. So, anyway, coming up on the show tonight, championship recap. Uh, let's see, truck race recap. Ben Rhodes, Lord help the guy. He had a little bit too much to drink in the bar. But I don't blame him. I mean, that's personality, and he proved everybody wrong. Daniel Hemmert, um, shocker. Yeah, no. I mean, getting his first win and championship all in one night, and then Kyle Larson picking up the Cup Series championship. Mm, that wasn't a surprise. 30 to go, he wasn't winning the race, so I can tell you that. 30 to go, it's all Martin Truex. He was going to win that race. So got some silly season talk. Some let's see, some RFR news, Roush Fenway news. Um, Saying goodbye to the Gen 6 car. A lot coming up. It's going to be a busy show. The last show of the year. 2021, we're going to end it out with a bang. You ready to get to it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Championship recap. We're going to start off with the Truck Series. Chandler Smith went out and just played spoiler. Um, he was fast in practice, fast in the cup, or fast in qualifying. He just went up and just dominates. Um, I know probably NASCAR probably didn't want to see that because I'm sure they wanted, you know, the the winners, the championship guys fighting it for the win. What'd you think of the truck race?
Well, the truck race, I mean, there was the 18 truck and then there was the rest of the field. I
Yeah,
mean, they come loaded for bear.
Danny
You
Stockton had
know,
that truck rolling.
the shocker to me was Nemechek because he made that big mistake. I think it was either lap one or lap two, got out of the groove, and then got doored by the O2 truck, I think it was, as coming out of two.
The Young Motorsports truck. Yep.
Yeah, doored him out of two, and then we get a cut tire, and he ended up 2 laps down, and that basically ended his
Here's
race.
here's he was 2 laps down. He got one of them back right away. We got one of them back to right away. The second one, they should have done a wave around. I was listening to their radio, and why did they not take the wave around? Even, and I can't think who the spotter is for Nemechek, but he said, "Hey, he on Channel Two, he's like, are we taking a wave around here?" And the crew chief said, "No, we're gonna put ourselves in a hole." Even Nemechek come on and said, "Are we taking a wave around and stuff? I think I'll have speed to stay with them." No, because then we'll have to pit, you know, uh, midway through the cycle.
Yeah.
No, you had enough gas on that second stage to make it to the end of the stage. I do not know why. I believe with the caliber truck that John Hunter had, he could have stayed in front of the guys he needed to beat till that end of the stage or next caution. That was the championship move. I honestly believe if they took that wave around and he got back up, he was going to win championship, no doubt in my mind.
He was gonna have a good chance at it because I think he got back up to sixth place or something like that before the end of the
Yes, he
race. So
he was coming.
yeah,
I hate to say it, Kyle, but might want to find you a crew chief because that right there cost you. That you should have had one in victory lane and then one on the other stage taking the championship.
Well, they always say you've got to lose one to learn how to win one, and they lost one. So
yeah, he's coming back for year 2. And I forgot what his slogan is, but I think it's coming back for more or something like that, which fits it.
Yep.
With the way, if Danny Stockman and Chandler Smith can actually get their heads together, they could have the year that Nemechek had. Absolutely, them 2 trucks could be the ones fighting for wins every race. But
well, they've got to show up like they did in Phoenix. That's the thing. They hadn't showed up for any race this year.
No.
But at Phoenix, they showed up armed to the teeth, and they come out, executed, did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they have to carry that momentum into 2022.
And Ben, my last pick, Chandler or Ben Rhodes picked up the championship. Kentucky guy. Props to him. I mean, he did everything right. Zane Smith looked like he was about to play shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And he just took off. I mean, I was amazed at, Zane Smith's speed all night, and Matt Crafton never had speed. Nothing.
No.
They missed it.
They missed it.
If you say that Matt Crafton missed it the week before, I'd be okay with that because, you got to unload off the truck and go race. But you had practice and you still missed it. Something there, and I don't know if it was announced before the race or after the race, but I know Joyner's not coming back as crew chief.
No, he's not. No. So
he's going to focus more on his business. That kind of hurts him, I think. Which Matt Crafton's probably at the end of his career. He can probably race till he wants to retire. I think Duke and Duke over at Thor Motorsports probably would let him drive a truck unsponsored for a whole year if that's what it took. That's just the way the relationship they got. So, but Ben Rhodes having a good time. I mean, that press conference was for the ages.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And it's a little long video. I'm not going to probably play a lot. I'll probably cut off sometime whenever I feel like it. But I want to relive it again. But here it is.
Phenomenal night and this phenomenal season. We'll get right into questions for Ben. So if you have one, please raise your hand and we'll get.
Yeah, I'm more zen now thanks to my good friend Bud. Let me say something here. Libations are good. Championship's awesome. And this is going to be the weirdest press conference ever. You know what? Here's what I got to say. What was the question? So, okay, wait a minute. I know what the question was. Watch Zane Smith and all these people drive away from me. I'm freaking out on the inside because we had radio issues and I couldn't talk to them. So I'm like really angry. I was pissed. And let me say something. I got the mic so I can say it anyways. So I was pissed. And here's how this went down. I said, Zane Smith, this is checkers or wreckers. I'm going to blow the motor trying to catch you. Boom, boom. Sheldon Creed tried to get all, funky with me. And I said, ain't happening, Mama Jamma. Bye-bye. Went around the outside in the resin. And I said, goodbye. Third place is cool with me because I had the championship. And, wow, I talked really fast there. And I said, you know what? Championship's cool. Hope I answered that question. I'm pretty zen. Thanks, my good friend Bud.
Thoughts and prayers to our transcriptionist for this one. We'll go to Bob.
My wife looks really embarrassed. Are you embarrassed? We're champions. Yeah. I was driving to the saturation point. That's engineer speak now. I didn't know that I'm from Kentucky. Not everybody has teeth. Wait a minute. That's not a good representation of Kentucky. Everybody has teeth in Kentucky. We drink fluoride in our water. Anyways, the Bud is amazing tonight. So here's what I'll say. I had patience.
All I gotta say is, wow. I mean,
Yeah,
his
that reminds me a lot of Keselowski's championship performance in 2012.
let me tell you something. That kid probably gained a ton of fans right there. A ton of fans right there.
Oh yeah.
Of course, he threw second under the bus. You know, um,
Well,
yeah. Well, that is what it is on that one. Uh, Fun fact for Ben Rhodes: he is from Kentucky, but he is like a couple other drivers I know is from Kentucky, and it made it a big time that hardly never raced at their local track. He had alfalfa insurance on his back, and they rode him to the ranks quick. I think he ran legends, ran some supers, probably I think a handful of times in supers, and then jumped right into ARCA East, West. Both of them was running them. Thor Motorsports got on his bandwagon and rode him all the way to trucks. They've already announced he will be back next year for sure. So, only ones that are coming back that I know of right now for Thor is Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes. Johnny Sauter, you probably get in the can. I don't see them getting him another ride. I don't see him getting sponsorship for a ride with Thor. I think you'll have to be with a starting park team or something like that. So it is what it is. But that was good. Congrats to Ben Rhodes. We're gonna move now to the Xfinity Series.
mm-hmm.
Daniel Hemrick moves Cindric up the racetrack to take first win and championship all in one night. I've got a clip of that. I thought it was Cindric probably could do stuff different, but we'll talk about it here in a minute.
Oh, he's going to get loose. The 18 gets a little loose, slides up the track. No contact. But it did move the 22 up the racetrack. He wasn't able to finish the corner, so.
One more time around.
Daniel's still right there. What will he do?
The two fighting for the win and the championship. Through 1 and 2. They stay side by side. Now the 18 ducks in behind. One more chance. The 22 in front. The 18 closing the gap. Out of 4. They're side by side. Hemrick's going to win it at the line. Daniel Hemrick just silenced the doubters. He's made his own history. Daniel.
All I've got to say with that one is congrats to Daniel Hemrick. But come on, Cindric. We talked about this earlier, right? If Cindric would have moved up, I don't think Hemrick would have got him. I don't think that Hemrick would have got him at the line.
No, Hemrick would have got him. He was at his rear bumper. That was the problem with Cindric, is that you have your rear bumper open to that left rear corner, and I mean, if you're running for a championship, I don't care who you are, and Cindric said it, he would have done the same thing. So, you can't defend the move. Like, Cindric needed to get another couple car lengths on him, and then that move's not there. And
and Daniel Hemrick, he was emotional in the press conference. Not really emotional. He was just kind of telling his backstory. Something that probably nobody knew, and he let it out. And I'm sure Joe Gibbs probably not going to like it, him coming out with it. But he came out and said he was running for top fives. If he didn't finish top 5, he didn't get paid. That paycheck was his top 5. Every time he finished top 5, he get paid. If he didn't finish that top 5, he didn't get paid. And Bob Parker's trying to be a little sneaky. He's like, so what was that paycheck in a top 5? You know how Bob Parker's is.
yeah, he did. He'll dig.
He'll dig just real deep. You got Bob Parker's. You got all them guys, the athletic. All of them was going to dig real deep. But. And Dale Jr. really put Daniel Hemrick under the bus. Jr. really put him under the bus. Like, you're moving out of a championship winning caliber equipment to a equipment that you're going to struggle in. Like, I did not see that comment coming at all. But I'm a little salty with Colic. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little salty with them letting Jeb go, but it is what it is. Jeb's got something to announce pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited about that one. As long as he ain't going Rick Ware Racing, So
Oh, geez. Guess
yeah,
you're the first one to figure that one out. Oops.
don't you say that.
Oh, I think it's coming. I will not be surprised if he's one of the drivers for Wickware Racing. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Matty D was going to Rick Ware.
No,
Really?
Matty D's got too much integrity to go to Wickware Racing.
Wait a
according
second.
to Matty D.
Wait a second. Hold up. Roll that one back. Matty D has put a foot in his mouth.
Oh, he's probably taken himself out of a cup ride permanently.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad to say, but we'll get to silly season talk here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna move on to the Cup race. All I gotta say is David Starr, Kyle Larson send David Starr a Christmas card. He better send him a bottle of champagne. He better send him a Christmas card. He better send him some of the prize money, everything. Because if it wasn't for David Starr, I do not see Kyle Larson winning that race. No possible way.
Hendrick cars in general had no long run speed. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. The 24 had long run speed.
Oh my goodness.
But he had zero short run speed. Absolutely no short run speed.
Well,
then I'm a little salty about that. So,
yeah. David Starr pulled out. That whole caution over a brake rotor, but the real question is the pit stops, and I've got all 5 Kyle Larson's pit stops on video right here. Let's go!
Down and away, losing a bunch of track position early on here in this race. Ladies open, Kyle Larson and leaders in first and first. Larson is in the car, was tight separated, and you saw some tornadoes in the car, and the chassis adjustment. Ford Jefferson of the racing field is dealing with the championship battle. Chase Elliott with a limited stop. The race up in pit road. Not likely the race for the lead spot, but some drivers still in better speed. Really have to balance their way. Staying in track position as for the help of his pit stop. Ford Jefferson of the racing field. Air pressure adjustment for Kyle Larson in his car.
That last one won them the race.
Well, they nailed it.
Second
that stop.
Second fastest stop of the year. Now, take it back, roll it back just a little bit. It did cost him $10,000. He did leave they did the old, leave one lug nut trick off, right? How many was it? 3 out of the 4, I think that did that whole the lug nut deal. I think Ben Bayshore, they left 2 off, just so that try to get an edge. I see the point on that. You're not doing it now. That's your last stop of the year. You're gonna do that because we're getting away with all the 5 lugs. We're going to 1 lug.
Hey, Ben Bayshore is still suspended for the Coliseum Clash.
Yeah.
The last lug nut suspension ever.
I don't think it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
No, I don't.
Yep.
I don't think it is.
Oh yeah. Listen,
You know the
Willie,
question.
the only other lug nut suspension that can happen now with the new car with the single lug nut is the wheel falls off. And
Right.
that's a 4-race suspension.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's something that's going to happen.
But that's not a loose lug nut. That's you lost the wheel.
That's the only time.
Oh,
That's the only way.
there's going to be guys that are going to lose the wheel next year. I guarantee it.
Well, there is a concern with some of before we're about to get into something else, but I want to hit this so I don't forget it. There is some concern with cross-threading this single lug. They said a cross thread could cost them to park it for the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest fear right now, that a cross thread could potentially park them for the whole race if they cross thread.
Yep.
That is, and you're seeing teams, start selling their equipment. 2 teams that are keeping their cars, all their cars. You know who the 2 teams are?
Hendrick and Gibbs.
Hendrick and Gibbs. 2 teams are keeping their cars. They think it's going to fail. Petty's already sold all their stuff to Xfinity teams. It will take a lot to convert it over to an Xfinity car, but if you can buy chassis 5, I'm sure they're not selling them probably $8,500. That's probably $8,500 to $10,000 probably for a chassis, knowing that what are you gonna do with them?
Yeah.
But yep, Gibbs and Hendrick got the money to put it away and and do. I mean, them two's got programs they can secondhand it too.
Well,
right.
Hendrick's got the Track Attack program that they're converting all the Gen 6s over to for road course cars that the public can buy.
Track Attack. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
They're making old Gen 6 race cars. They're converting them. They're putting the 2019 Camaro bodies on them, and you for $150,000, you can go and buy yourself one and go race on the road courses.
All right then. Before we jump into something else, this area around here lost probably one of the greatest drivers to ever hold a steering wheel, and I'd probably mean that with everything I got. This guy was remarkable. He'd held a steering wheel. Somebody put him in a race car, and he took off from there. Don't know really what happened to him. I just know that he passed. I think it was Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. Shock to this area. The dude probably he should have made it on Sundays. Never got his shot. I've got some photos that of him right here. Pretty amazing stat. Back in 2007, I think he won 17 out of 21 races. You don't hardly ever see somebody. And around here, the late models was pretty stout. Here's some more pictures of him. Pretty remarkable. He does hold a super late or late model championship at Nashville. Tons of wins at Nashville, tons of wins at Beach Bend. When ASA, you remember when ASA racing, when Mark Martin used to run it, like they had the numbers on the quarter panels?
Yeah.
That went away, and they brought the late model side. It was just strictly late models. Well, he jumped on one of the first years of that tour and should have won the championship in a old guy out of Texas that won the truck championship one year, James Busher. Them two had a bunch of run-ins, so he didn't cost him a championship. He had to miss a couple races. Bo, Godspeed, man, rest in peace. this area won't be the same. I mean, even if Beach Bend ever comes back, it won't never be the same without him wheeling a race car. I've seen him probably win, I'd say 150, 200 races out there easily. If he didn't win, something had to break. Basically, that's the way it was for him. And I don't know if up at your racetrack, if the top two finishers always had to go to the back. So it doesn't matter where they qualified, you was going to the back. If you finish top two, you starting dead last. And we usually average 10 to 15 late models, a week. And there was a 30-lap feature. It was a short feature, 30 laps, all it was. And I'd say probably by lap 15, he'd probably be leading it by then. And these wasn't no starting park schemes. I mean, there was 5 to 6 good race cars that he had to pass. So try to find some clips. Of course, last time I think he ran was 07. So you're looking at, well over 10, 11 years. So it's hard to find clips. I know a guy, Odell Turner, he's probably got tons of races where he used to videotape races of him racing. That man needs to turn a lot of them VHS to DVDs because I'd like to see some old races. So, but rest in peace, Bo. Prayers to the family. I know they're taking it rough, and I think they're going to lay him to rest Thursday. So it's a bad deal that happened around here. But we're going to jump back into a little bit silly season talk. Well, you have some silly season news. First one we're going to get to is charter. I think Denny Hamlin is finally getting his charter. Second charter, I think it's going to come from Starcom. So that is pretty good news for 2311. I think that, they didn't want to run, they didn't want to run the whole season without a charter. No. The last time I heard AJ Allmendinger, when he won, he basically got money for 16th or 17th charter money.
Right.
That's how big that gap is, right? So that one's took care of. I think they're still looking at They're still looking for a charter for the GMS gang. I think they're still looking for a charter. I think the 27th they're going to run without a charter. I think they're only going to run certain races. I mean, it's not smart to run. I think in order to have a charter, you have to run all 36 races. Is that right?
Well, no. If you have a charter, you have to run all 36 races.
Right.
There's no.
You got to even go to all the way out to California.
Yep. You got to go to California. Yep.
And you got to go to Texas for a 50-lap showdown.
Yep. You have to. Those are mandatory if you have a charter.
So now you got Rick Ware. I'm sure he's probably going to sell his too.
He's already said he's going to. He is only going to run 2 cars next year. So I think both of those charters are going to be for sale now. It sounds like he's going to sell the one charter that he has ownership in. The Petty charter, though, sounds like RPM's going to sell it.
Well, RPM's got to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they can't.
Like Petty Motorsports is going to sell it.
Because they can't. I don't think they can lease it no more.
No.
Because it only can be leased once.
Yeah. And last I heard, the charters now are going for about 12 mil.
It was 10 the other day. So
yeah, now it's 12.
I mean, I don't know unless you're going to bring a new team. I think everybody that's looking for a charter has got one now, right?
Except for GMS, and GMS might. I could see them maybe taking the Petty charter.
Okay, you're leaving Rick Ware.
Yeah, because Petty's going to end up. They need a cash flow injection because it sounds to me like Merstein might end up selling his share of RPM.
It'd probably be the best thing that ever happened to RPM right there.
So
best thing that ever happened.
They need a cash flow injection. That team needs a cash flow injection.
I'm hoping that selling out this all the extra cars that they have,
Yeah.
Gen 6 cars, that helps bring a little revenue, which you're going to go in the hole for this Gen 7 car. You're going to go in the hole. They're probably looking at that's probably why he's getting out, because he's going to have to go in probably 15, 20 million right off the bat getting these new cars, which it's only 6 new cars. That's all you can have is 6.
Yeah, I don't know what the cost of the brand new car is start to finish, because I know chassis they said were only about 30 grand. So
Last time I heard, I think Brett Griffin said that they're looking, your $30 million budget can go down to 15 million for Cup.
right.
So you can run a season with 15 million.
Yeah.
With a single car. So you got to think too. Spire picked up another charter. Spire picked up who'd they pick up? I think did they pick it up?
They tried to pick up Starcom, but I think it ended up going to 2311.
That's right. So So yeah, they'll be one.
Yeah, Spire. It's the talk was Spire was going to get that charter, but I think 2311 got it.
Yeah. I still think we're probably 2 teams away. I think there'll still be 2 teams that create. Last time I checked, because Toby Christie, he's on top of things when it comes to excuse me, when it comes to teams, right?
Yeah.
And right now there is a total of 32 confirmed teams that's running all year.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he's counting the part-time teams. I'd hate to go to Daytona and there only be 36, 37 cars. I feel like first year is probably going to be that many. Well, I take it back. I don't think it will be, because I think you're still going to have Gaunt Brothers. They're going to field a super speedways.
Beard is running a super speedway car again.
Yep. Beard's running a super speedway car. We're losing 37, so you got that team going down to 1 car. It's going to be close. I think the one series besides a Cup that is going to, if they go back to a practice qualify, one series that will probably have 40 to 45 entries every week, and I think that's the Truck Series.
Could be. Yep.
I
won't be surprised to see that for Xfinity either, because Xfinity constantly, even when we were doing the no practice, no qualifying, they always had 41 or 42 cars on the entry list, and 2 guys didn't even get to drive to the racetrack because they didn't make the show right off the bat.
Right. And also you have, if you qualify, there's 36 spots, which I don't understand that.
Yeah.
If you don't qualify, they expand the field to 40. If they do qualify, it goes down to 36.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I mean, I understand you want to, kind of have spice it up, people going home. Trucks had like 40 something trucks. I think it had 46 trucks down there for Daytona last year.
Yeah.
And the Xfinity was like 43, and I think there was 42 Cup cars. I think maybe wasn't that many.
I think we're gonna have a full field of Cup cars. I really do. I think it'll be a 40 Cup car field. So for Daytona, I don't know if we'll have any go homers this year. I think it'll just be there'll be 40 show up, 40 make the race, and the duels basically become pointless at that point.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, a duels ticket will cost you $75. Who wants to go to if there's not a drama of go or go homers? I'll be honest with you. I'll be in Daytona and I'll sell my tickets and go over to short track.
Yeah.
That is basically pointless to me to go watch a duels that means nothing, right?
Well, and that's where I honestly think like the Coliseum deal, I'm only expecting the 36 charter teams to show up. There's only
going to be 23 start.
Yeah, I know, but the charter teams came out because it's of this event. Charter teams are required to attend, so charter teams have to run the Clash.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So
see
I
that.
think we'll see all 36 charter teams, but I don't think we're going to see anybody else because I think everybody else is going to be wanting to save their cars for Daytona.
Right. Right. Um, so another news come out. Old Pasta. Well, hang on a minute. Let's go back before we go real quick. We've got 3 drivers out there, Cup guys, that have not landed a ride. Well, you got 4 now. Because now I was going to get to it, but we'll go ahead and get to it now. You got Alfredo Pasta that will not return to FRM. Right, front row is looking to go a different direction. They said they will run 2 cars next year. They just not that. I mean, clearly he had to run out sponsorship money mid year. I
Yep.
mean,
He
they
tore
went.
up so many cars. Whew.
Yeah, I mean,
He tore up a lot of cars.
Bob Jenkins should have known right off the bat that this kid was not Cup ready. I mean, it's like Kaz Grala going from running nothing all year and then jumping into a Colic Cup car. Like, what are you thinking, Colic? I mean, he did get a good finish here and there, but as you saw, Kaz Grala was not in the car at the end of the year. So
No. Well, from what I understand, front row you have to bring money. If you don't
Yes.
bring money, you ain't getting the ride.
right,
So last rumor about that car could be Todd Gilliland might be going in that car. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think you've got better drivers available. Matt DiBenedetto would be one of them.
so is that why they said they was reevaluating their Truck Series team?
I have a feeling that might be why. Because I
Wow.
think they could be moving up Gilliland.
Yeah. Now, I don't understand that one. You got Matty D. You see him landing anywhere in the Cup? I don't
Nope.
really. I don't
Nope,
see him.
not
landing
after what
anywhere.
he did in not after what he did in Phoenix. You
And-
don't have a hope.
And what he said in Phoenix was not bad, but
No,
listen, you're in a spotlight. You have to, we live in a day now. It's cancel culture. You
that's
you
right.
do something wrong, you're getting canceled, right? So, yeah, I mean, the whole ordeal went down. Him deleting his Twitter account was awful. Sorry, man. I mean, you can't do that. I think if I'm a truck owner, I'd be calling him up. Hey, man, come run my truck.
You know what? No, if I'm an Xfinity owner, I'm calling him.
Yeah.
But I really think I think you put him in a good quality Xfinity car, he's going to get you probably a
Right.
couple wins.
Right.
But he has to get the pride out of his system because he has said on many occasions, I do not want to go back down to a feeder series. I am a Cup driver and I belong in the Cup series. And it's like, dude, you know what? You couldn't win in the Wood Brothers car, which is basically a Penske car. You need to go back, rebrand yourself. I mean, at this point, after what happened in Phoenix, he's basically at the same point that Larson was last year. You need to go back. You need to mend the fences. You need to fix everything you did and, rebrand yourself. Luckily for Kyle Larson, he was a good enough driver that a Cup team would take a chance on him. I think if he does all the work that Larson did, he has a good chance at maybe getting a good Xfinity ride. But Cup is, I don't see it. I don't see Cup next year. Alfredo, well, if he gets a start in Park Truck Team, I think he should be happy.
Yeah, I agree. You got Ryan Newman.
Done. He is going to be Matt Kenseth out of the Cup Series.
Man, didn't even get a farewell tour that he should have got.
Nope. Well, the same thing happened to Kenseth. Exactly the same thing. So I think, you know what? He nobody, I think, what is he, 44 or 45 years old now?
Yeah. Yeah.
He just
He's the only one left in the rookie class of 2000.
Yeah.
Um,
I think unfortunately he Matt Kenseth himself and he's
I mean, do you really think he could maybe land at Rick Ware with the relationship that he has with Tony?
maybe, but I don't know if he would. The offer from Rick Ware is going to have this boils down to a very similar situation when Stuart Haas
It's not
and
going to be.
Hendrick
It's
first-
not going to be money.
when Stuart Haas and Hendrick first aligned, right? Because when Stuart Haas and Hendrick first aligned, they attracted Newman to Stuart Haas to run that 39 car. And part of the deal was Hendrick basically was involved and basically said, these for the most part are going to be Hendrick Motorsports cars. Right?
They're Chevys.
Right. So when it comes to Rick Ware, it's going to kind of be like, you know what? Tony Stewart's going to have to come up to the plate if they want to attract a good driver to those cars. And it's going to be like,
I don't
these
think
are
you
Stuart
have
Haas
Cody
cars.
Ware, but I don't think you have Cody Ware in that 51 car. You
I-
don't send him to
Personally,
IndyCar.
no, personally, I don't think you're going to see anybody that drove a Rick Ware car in a Rick Ware car this year. If Tony Stewart steps up to the plate and backs Rick Ware Racing like Rick Hendrick backed him in the day, if he does the same thing, they'll actually probably be able to attract a not bad driver. Maybe that is Matt DiBenedetto. I don't know. But that's the only way that you're going to attract a winning driver to that organization.
I agree. Another driver that could you see Ryan Preece land anywhere?
You know what? I think with Ryan Preece, unfortunately, he's going to have to probably go back to the Xfinity Series or Truck Series and make a name for himself again. And that's not to slight Ryan Preece in the bit. I know he's a good race car driver and everything like that. Unfortunately, the situation that he was in the Cup Series, he was in mid-tier equipment.
I'm hearing maybe sponsorship from Hunt's Brother Pizza.
Possibly.
Because he didn't have to bring money to the table with JTG.
No.
That's all Kroger.
But he could land at Rick Ware Racing too. That's the thing right now. As of all the cars that are out there, that's the two cars right now that basically we don't know who's the drivers are going to be.
I'm gonna make a bold projection. I think you have Ryan Newman in one Rick Ware car, and I think you have
Jeb
Ryan
Burton in the other.
No, I don't think Jeb. Jeb would be stupid to jump to Cup. Jeb would be stupid to jump to Cup. I think your other one's probably going to be Ryan Preece with Hunt Brothers Pizza because Kevin Harvick is the agent for Ryan Preece.
Could be. It's possible.
So,
but I mean, Rick Ware Racing, Rick Ware needs to step up to the plate. And if he wants to make himself a successful organization like he claims he does, you are going to have to put money behind a driver that could probably get you a win. And of all the drivers that are sitting right now in free agency in Cup, Matty D is going to be your best shot at getting a win.
Yes. I think that Matty D should try to go land with Joe Gibbs, be honest with you. But I don't think Joe Gibbs will touch him.
No, now he won't.
Matty D's got talent. He just ain't. He's like Daniel Hemrick. He's not showed in good equipment.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad season, but this is a failed season in the 21.
Yep.
You had to make the playoffs. You didn't make the playoffs. You had to, at least run top 5 consistently. He's just not there. I don't know where he's going to end up in points. I mean, I didn't get a final breakdown on points, but and stuff. So, all right, we're gonna move on. We say goodbye to the Gen 6 car, and Hello Gen 7. First race, LA Coliseum. What are you expecting out of the first race?
A lot of repair bills.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
You know, I get what the owners were saying because the owners are still not happy about the fact that they're going to run the next gen at the Coliseum.
I
There
run
were-
the last car, you know.
But you know what? I agree with NASCAR. You want to make this next gen car a big bang and everything like that? Great way to start it. LA Coliseum, 80,000 people in attendance, and it's the debut of your new car. Now, you guys better hope like hell that it doesn't turn out to be an absolute disaster of a race.
But here's my thing with that is, okay, you're going to a bull ring that you have never raced on. It is basically a made up track.
Yep.
You've got 7 cars.
Mhm.
All right. So basically you're gonna have what, 3 intermediate cars, which all of them's universal, what I was told.
They're all universal. So basically, any of those cars supposedly can be easily adapted to run any track.
Well, I mean, you better have another one on standby, right? So, I don't have the format in front of me. I know what it is. I think the top 2 in time is locked in. Then they're taking 4 from each heat, and then they're going to take 2 out of last chance, and then they're going to run. Then the automatic is the next points.
Yeah.
20,
The only car locked in to that race right now is Kyle Larson.
Right. All right. Before we go anywhere else,
And thank God the Gen 6 is dead.
yep. Like to thank Jerry's Muffler and Tires. If you need any tire work, brake work, muffler work, anything like that, go see him at 209 Gordon Avenue, Monday through Friday. Usually 8 to 4. But if you need something, call him or look him up on Facebook, Jerry Klein. We're gonna get it. He's gonna get a page up and going so he can help people more with that. Do a giveaway with a hat. Name how many lug nuts will be on all 4 wheels for 2022 Gen 7 car. How many lugs? Talking total lugs on all 4 wheels. Somebody put it in the comments, and then first one in the comments get you a hat. All right, we're gonna jump next to, let's see. We're staying in a little silly season talk here. I tell you what, I don't know if you got it, buddy. Get with me after the show, and then so I can get your information, and I'll get you a hat your way. Chip Ganassi shut the one car down, right?
Yep.
So there was 14 members, high-level members, that went to RFR, Roush Fenway Racing. It's probably going to be, is it tomorrow they announce it's going to be Roush Fenway Keselowski?
Don't know what it's going to be, but we are incorrect. Matt McCall is not going to Brad Keselowski. Matt McCall is going to Kurt Busch, 2311.
I am incorrect.
We are incorrect.
Who landed with Brad Keselowski?
I don't remember. I don't know who the crew chief is on that car yet. So,
Well, I thought I saw Matt McCall.
no, Matt McCall is going to. Oh, well, I don't understand. It's 2 different. We've got 2 different things now. Now that it's come out, Matt McCall is Brad Keselowski's crew chief. I don't know.
Matt McCall used to crew chief Kurt Busch on the one car.
Yep.
and the 45 crew chief will be Billy Scott.
There you go. That's what it was. Yep.
Yep.
There was a report that came out that said it was going to be Matt McCall, but then it changed. You're right.
Yep. Billy Scott, I don't think that pairing will work. I'll be honest with you.
Why
Sorry.
they used to be crew chief. He used to be his crew chief,
Oh, I know.
and they ran well. So I think it'll work out.
But you know, Matt McCall is the first domino to fall. Matt McCall is, you know, the first one to fall, and he brought everybody with him basically on the one bunch. He brought the pit crew, the one car coming
Yep.
over to the 6, all the road crews coming over to the 6. So I don't know if they just fired everybody or what, but you know, of course we're going to see some people let go with this new car, right?
Yep.
So, you know, but you had TJ Majors come over, you had Matt McCall come over. They announced 14 members, front office member changes.
Yep.
Which was remarkable. This week it will be announced it will be called Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, which I don't understand why you have a big long name like that, you know, but that's the way it's going to be. So that was pretty interesting. How do you really think Brad Keselowski does first year? I mean, do you think he goes out and puts, you know, Roush in victory lane right off the bat, like within the first 15 races?
No. I think it's going to be a struggle for them to make the championship 16 next year.
Here's my honest take. I like Keselowski a lot. I think he's past his prime. I think he's taking on too much to, you know, he's biting off too much he can chew. And I think he's going to have to revamp everything, and he's going to get out of that driver's seat and get him a young driver in there.
Well, I think he can still win. I think he can still win a race. But the thing is I think just when I look at Roush over the last few years, and this goes back right from even when the next gen, you know, the COT went to the Gen 6 and everything like that. Roush as a whole, this year they showed a little bit of speed, but Roush as a whole has struggled for many years. And I think that Brad is probably going to be able to right the ship, but it's going to take more than a year to right that ship. I mean, let's look at Hendrick Motorsports. You want to talk about having to right a ship. It took them almost basically till the end of 2020, 2018, 2019, and probably 5/8 of 2020. They sucked.
You know, only win they basically had was with Gordon that one year.
You know, like, I mean, those 3 years, 18, 19, and, you know, about 5/8 of 2020, they were not good.
That's
And I
why
mean,
you're
look,
seeing Gordon going to one of the top spots right there.
you
Taking
know,
Chad Canals off the box, putting him as competition director, and now Jeff Gordon's going to be VP.
well, and I can tell you something about Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon hates losing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
hates losing. And you know what? They finally righted the ship, and look what happened. 2021, they had one of their best seasons ever. But Hendrick Motorsports took 2.5 years to right the ship.
What do you think about?
And, you know, I look at the resources that Hendrick has versus Roush Fenway, and it took them 2.5 years to right that ship. There
Roush?
is no way that you're going to be able to right a ship that's been steering in the wrong direction for almost a decade in less than a season.
Well, I mean, you got to look at. All right, take it back to you've got Mastermind Chad Canals, you know, over at Hendrick.
Yep.
Over at Stuart Haas, you got Zipadelli.
Yep.
You know, over at Gibbs, I mean, I don't know who their competition director. I think it's a Toyota guy. It's not a in-house guy.
And-
you got to have a mastermind behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
Roush don't have one.
No.
And
Well,
that used to be Ford's flagship. Like that was Ford's flagship.
yeah.
Now it's Penske's flagship as a Ford person.
I mean, and I don't know, because the whole thing is that Ford could have been putting a lot more resources before the next gen car than they were towards the Gen 6 car. Maybe that's why Ford as a whole, because Ford as a whole this year struggled.
Yeah, I mean,
They did.
Tony
They
Stewart put
did.
out a big thing about it. Tony Stewart said, "We're not happy with our finishes this year. Thank you for sticking by us. We're going to try better. You know, we got
Yeah.
hundreds of people in the
But this is the same thing though that Hendrick went through, right? This sport goes in cycles and everything like that. And I think the thing is that I could see potentially Penske and maybe even Stuart Haas next year coming out with the bat swinging. But Keselowski, Roush Keselowski, I just don't see it the first half of the year.
Yeah. Well, here's
You
the
know,
thing. You've got Chris Buescher in the other car, which to make a splash, I think I'd have pulled Buescher out of that car and went and found me a really good driver in that car to have to have two flagship cars.
Yeah, it just I just don't see it. Not next year. Like honestly think championship 16 next year for the 6 car. And that's the whole thing that a lot of people forget about when you're talking about the playoffs. There's 16 cars that go into the playoffs every year, right? So if everybody says, "Well, Brad K is going to make the playoffs next year," well, who's coming out?
Right.
Who's coming out? I mean,
Michael
everybody else
McDowell?
say, Michael McDowell. Okay, Michael McDowell comes in. Okay, I can see that. I could see that. You know what? But I honestly think Cindric's probably going to make the playoffs next year
Yeah.
with the 2 car. I don't see the Penske 2 car. I don't see any of those 3 cars not being in the championship 16 next year.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think somebody comes out because I think the 21 car makes the playoffs next year.
And that wouldn't surprise me either. It
I-
really wouldn't. But again, it's always who are you taking out? Like, are you going to take Kurt Busch out next year? I don't think so. I still think he probably is going to get in. He might struggle to get in, but I think he's still going to get in. And you're not taking any of the Gibbs cars out. You definitely ain't taking any of the Hendrick cars out.
Well, wait a second. I mean, I would struggle to put Christopher Bell back in there.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll
put Christopher Bell back in there again. Easy.
I'd
He
struggle.
He was running good at the end of the year, so
I'd probably take the 24 car out. Probably.
yeah. Well, you're a dick too, so
Whoa.
that's below the belt, buddy.
Yeah.
Jeez. And
No.
anybody that says the 24 ain't going to be in next year, I think you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we'll get into it a little bit in January when we really dissect, but I think
We're going to start figuring out who's got a handle on it and who doesn't got a handle on it in January.
I mean, I ain't even. They're testing what
They're
Wednesday
testing
and
this
Thursday?
week. They're testing this week in Charlotte. So,
but nobody's gonna know data, right? I mean,
no, and the car, the package has not been finalized yet.
Why we are in November, and why are you?
It's because they're still working on the cooling issues. So this test now, I guess they've come up with all the things that they're going to try to get the cooling, and everybody's going to have it now. And if it works, then that's supposedly
we talked about Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman come out. Ryan Newman come out in, was it right before the last race, and said that he's a little bit scared of the Gen 7 car because NASCAR's not sharing the crash data with them.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I think he's just bitter that he's out of a ride, but that's me.
No. Ryan Newman's made his money.
Like I said, I don't care what any of the drivers say or anything like that. They are just scared of change. Because this car is a huge change from anything they've ever driven before.
Right. It is a huge change, but you also have some concerns with
No.
what
Willie, I ain't going to get into this argument again because NASCAR is not going to put an unsafe car on the racetrack
no.
because they know full well what the repercussions would be.
No, I'm not saying that they're not putting unsafe. I'm just saying that there is a concerns with can't forget who wrecked the car, but they said it was a lot like harder vibration than usually is.
Yeah, I know, but that was before they made the updates to the chassis 2 months ago.
Well, see, I didn't know they made updates to the chassis.
They made updates to the chassis.
Did they fix they fixed the feet problem where it was getting real hot by the feet?
They're working on that. That's part of the thing that they've got with this cooling thing. They were working at that. They were working on that in Charlotte at the Roval, and some of the teams they had teams trying some things, and supposedly some of them showed some promise. So the deal is that all the cars now have to show up with these things put in.
Yeah.
So it's going to be short exhaust pipes. The pipes are going to come out basically in front of the door, not behind the door. And the cooling vent in the windshield, the strips out of the back windshield. They're running a NACA duct in the floor to evacuate the air from underneath the belly pan.
Yeah. Jerry's 100% right. A lot of unknowns.
Well,
That's why you that is why you have Hendrick and Gibbs keeping their cars. I honestly think once you go to this car, I don't think there's you
No, you
can't
ain't
go
going
back.
back.
You can't go back.
NASCAR's not going to go back. No, that ain't going to happen.
But I think we should have done what we did with was it the CLT where we ran like 8 races that one year with it?
The team owner said they would never do that again because it cost them too much money to have two separate cars, two separate profiles going at once.
I can tell you right now, if you was in if you owned an ARCA team or you owned an Xfinity team, there's a lot of equipment that is going out the door because it's useless with this car.
Yep.
It's useless with this car. I hate it for a lot of fabricators and stuff like that losing their job. Man, this is gonna be a tough time. There'll be some that'll bounce on their feet, land with Xfinity teams, land with a truck team, it ain't gonna be the money they're making, but I saw the number that there was roughly probably going to be 800 to 1,000 people lose their job over the new car.
Yeah, it won't surprise me.
Because you're losing your fabricators, you're losing your body guys and stuff like that. Because the bodies are basically they're not hung no more. Where like the new cars are hung.
Yep.
This car just you put piece by piece and then put it together.
Yep.
From what I understood, you can go into a pit stop and then change the damn fender if you have to.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you're going to be able to with the damage clock.
No.
No,
because I guarantee you the mounting points and everything would be damaged.
Yeah. But it is going to be neat to see. I mean, if I had money, I tell you, if I had enough money, I would fly out to California and probably go watch that race because it's going to be an experience.
Mm-hmm.
150 laps at that. It's going to be a pretty good race.
Yep.
So we're going to jump on, hit the updates real quick on, we'll hit some iRacing. Let's hit some iRacing stuff. Matt, you carried the Mid-South Sports Report on the side of the car, coming up just short your first season with No Toad. Explain a little bit about the Kansas recap and Charlotte preview.
Well, just unfortunately, Kansas, the track just changed quite a bit, and I wasn't prepared for it. And the top line was the fast line, and I just could not get the car to drive up top. A lot of the guys could get that thing to roll the top, and I just couldn't get it to roll the top. And ended up getting a lot more tire wear. Just ended up at the end of the day, we were running 7th when the caution came out, causing a green-white checker. We had a set of tires in the pits, came in, put the set of tires on, restarted 12th, and got up to about 9th on the restart, and the car come off the wall going into 3 and sideswiped my car and took the right side off of it and basically ended our night. So we come home with a 15th. That basically sealed the deal. The championship leader, Skylar Carnes, won his 7th race of the season. Basically locked up the championship with that win. So congratulations to Skylar. He ran well and everything like that. We just come up short. It just was not our night on Sunday, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it was a long season. I mean, I looking at the schedule for next year, next season, I really like a lot of them tracks for you. I know you've got a bunch of them circled that you can do well. I mean, we don't open up with a super speedway to start it off. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a race 3. One thing I don't like about the new schedule is you only got one short track. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why they kind of did away with the short track. I mean, you only got Bristol.
Well, I think it's partly because they're going to the Xfinity car next year for the Premier Series as well.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason.
But ARCA, I even looked at the ARCA schedule, and they ain't going too many short tracks. So
No, the ARCA schedule is going to basically mirror the Xfinity schedule. So, but you can run the Xfinity. The Xfinity is going to be the Premier Series next year. So, but we still got one more race left this year. I am sponsoring the race again. This time I took the liberty of I had to name the race, and it was about the same time that my grandfather passed away. So this race is going to be called the Norm Morris Memorial 250. So I got a lot of motivation to win this one. I want to win it pretty bad. And we are going to be running another tribute car in this race. You can see up here, basically, this car was the car that I raced in 2001, my Econostock. It was a 1978 Plymouth Grand Fury. Basically, she was stripped down and put a roll cage in it, went racing.
no modifications.
Econostock, where you were not allowed to modify, no modifications. So I drove the 4-door family sedan as my Econostock. But this car had a really cool paint scheme on it. It was based off of Jeff Gordon's 2001 scheme. You can see the flames there a little bit on the side. The team owner wanted to make sure we ran the same yellow as the sprint car you can see in the picture there. So that's why the yellow's on the front, and on the back I've got that nice, very deep metallic blue on the back there. So this was one sharp looking car, and it was the car that I won my first ever feature event in. So it's a really special car to me. The race that I won my first feature event the week before, man, I don't know what it was, but I just remember that I think everything that could go wrong in that race went wrong. And I was so dejected after that race, and I thought, man, I don't know if I can ever win a race. And it was a late night that night, and I remember my grandpa came down to the pits after the race, and it was like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I was like, what? Grandpa came down, and he just come up, give me a big hug, and he said, I know you can win. You know you can win. Just go out and win it next week.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Never seen one of them on the road. But hey, now what about what model is that sprint car? What motor did y'all running at?
That was a 360 sprint car. That was a Buckley chassis back in the day. And if I remember right, I think at that point we were running Houston engines out of Washington, I believe was the engine we were running that year.
I got you.
Yeah. So that was a cool. That sprint car was a cool deal too, because the painter that painted my car also painted that car. That checkerboard and all that stuff, that is paint. That is not a decal.
It's hand painted.
That is hand painted.
We had a guy around here that does stuff like that, and was always
Yeah.
nice.
No. Those cars were both hand painted. There is no decals on those cars at all, other than the sponsor decals.
So here is your car that you're running for the Charlotte race.
Yeah, this is it. Not quite in the completed stage yet. The colors are still not quite right. I'm still working with the painter on it, but this is going to be the car. We've managed to get a new Mudsmouth logo for the quarter panel.
Yep,
So
I like it.
We're going to be running that now on all the cars for next year. It's a pretty special car. I am really excited to run it. And yeah, we're looking for the win. We're looking for the win, and yeah,
that's the best part right there.
That's the best part right there. So,
yeah, that's going to be fun to watch you. I might jump in, try to run that race on Sunday. You know, I could tell you I'm not going to run it unless I'm at least within a half a second. So if I'm not within a half a second, I'm not going to even try to touch it. I'll just be your backup spotter on that one. So
yeah, we got a lot riding on this race on Sunday, and now the championship deal's basically decided and everything like that. I got nothing to lose other than just to win the race. So
yep. So that was a pretty good deal. I'm floating around a little idea with the if I can get this. Thinking about doing a Mid-South iRacing short track series. No, this is Michael's deal, ain't it?
No, this is going to be our deal with Michael.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid-South Racing short track series. We're flirting with some AI stuff. So if we have 7 cars show up, we're going to fill the field with 13 computer cars. If we have 10 cars show up, we're going to fill the field with 10 cars. It'll always be a 20-car field. It won't be a field of 7 or 8 or 9 cars. It will be a 20-car field. iRacing has done pretty good with the AI stuff. I can, you can make them as hard as you can't pass them, or you can make it where you can pass them, but you got to know where to pass them.
Yeah.
So, I've been flirting a little bit with it at home. I've got me a little championship series set up for myself, running the super late model, South Boston, Langley, stuff like that. Has decided on what car we're going to run.
No, we have not decided on what car we're going to run. I believe we're down to a super late model or a stock car.
Street stock?
Yeah, street stock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't want a stock car. But anyway, that's going to be pretty neat coming in December. So keep your eyes open for that. We'll share.
And it's just going to be just a fun deal, guys. If you've got iRacing, this is just going to be for fun. Just come out, have fun. Don't know the date yet. Probably, I think we're probably looking at Tuesday nights, I think. But
yeah.
But we'll confirm that. Could be Saturday nights too. We haven't totally figured that one out.
Yeah. It's going to be a later series. So it'll probably be like a 8:30, 9 o'clock start time. Something, it won't. If it's Saturday, I mean, ain't nobody racing on Saturday. So.
There we go. Jerry's coming.
There we go. The AI deal, the computer racing deal. I'm gonna tell you something. They've hit it on the head with that. It's a ton of fun. It's race. If you don't want to go mess with real people wrecking in you, if you don't have a good time, put 20 cars on a racetrack, paint them up like your favorite racers, and go. I mean, I got a super late model series going right now that's got Stephen Nassy, it's got Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, it's got all them guys racing, and and stuff, and they will wreck you. They will wreck you. I can.
Oh
just-
yeah, they'll wreck you. They
Yeah,
will wreck you.
they'll wreck you, and stuff. So, but yeah, that's gonna be a pretty good deal. I can't wait for that, and stuff. 2022 podcast. Our next podcast is looking to be. Let's see. The test was it the 11th through the 14th or 11th or 12th,
It's
something like that.
Yeah, I think we're planning the week after that test, just because we're gonna have a little bit of information at that point and can kind of give you guys an update on what's going on.
Yep. So we're gonna come back on that. I'm in talks right now with a website person to get us a website going, kind of like a blog site, to kind of keep y'all updated more with the NASCAR news. We'll share it out a lot more. A lot of news still to drop. I mean, I think
Oh.
silly season is far from over. You guys, I think the Cup side's pretty much laid their bed. I think your Cup side's pretty much set up. But there's so much news in the Xfinity. I mean, like Josh Williams, with the DGM bunch. I mean, he announced he wasn't coming back. He ran the 92 car. He's not coming back. So he's got somewhere he's got to go because you're not going to leave a fully funded team to go and stuff. Hey, and Jeremy Clemens, man.
That was an awesome deal.
Jeremy Clemens, if people don't know who Jeremy Clemens is, he drives a 51 Xfinity car, fully funded before the month of December.
Yep.
He's done taking sponsorship. You can't get on his race car. He's sold out. Awesome to see. He's got a bunch of sponsors that's going to be with him multiple races. First team to come out in the Xfinity series this year to say they're fully funded, they're done, they're not looking for no more sponsorship. Pretty awesome to see.
Yep.
It shows NASCAR's kind of on its way back. It's still looking at a short track podcast. I'm gonna reach out to a couple guys that I know about co-hosting that with me. I'm not kicking you off, Matt. Just letting you know, I'm not kicking you off, but I kind of want somebody more familiar with this area, racers and stuff. We don't have none of that around here. We used to have a what is it called? The horsepower talk show used to be on radio. Don't even have that anymore. So I think some of the local guys need more exposure. I'm gonna give it to them. So I think that's going to be that's if you're going to follow the Willie Short Track Tour, that's going to be a great way to follow it because that's where I'm going to do all my content on that. If we can get a co-host, so I don't want to do it by myself. If I have to, I will, but I'll bring some guests along too. But looking forward to that. The Willie Short Track Tour partner Jerry's Mud for Tires, they're coming on board, helping with that. So we're going to get to go to some places. Really looking forward to that. I'm going to start making the schedule. Once everybody starts dropping schedules, I'll be able to pinpoint where I can go and all that. And then I can give a number about where tracks we're going to visit and stuff like that. My plan with that is, like I said before, I want to bring history back out of the racetrack. If the promoters will let me, I'd like to go before the races, get good footage, kind of bring the history back. How did that racetrack become a racetrack? Who came up with the idea? And, what keeps that place going, right? Because, we're losing racetracks left and right. We've got I'm an asphalt guy, and, I think we're going to lose the fairgrounds quarter mile. I hate to say it, but I think NASCAR once
Did we lose Willie?
No, I think we lost you, Matt.
No, you lost me.
But the whole the short track deal, I think we lost Nashville. I think when NASCAR takes over, I think the quarter mile will probably go away. I think it'll be just basically 5/8 stuff. I went and visited a track near me. I'm not going to say the name, but about 40 minutes away from me. Man, that was disappointing. I didn't even get to watch 3 races. Bunch of dragging feet. We took my little guy, taking a 5-year-old to a racetrack. You're taking a gamble of the actual attention span of a 5-year-old, and, dragging his feet was pretty bad. I mean, 3 races in 2.5 hours is not very good for a short track, for features. So, but hopefully they can get it going. Then we also got the asphalt track in Owensboro. Don't know what the future on that one holds yet, but hopefully somebody takes it over and does good so we don't lose that one. But asphalt side around here, not looking good. I can tell you right off the bat. Dirt side, yeah, we're decent. I mean, I still got some racetracks to go to within probably an hour, hour and a half, 2-hour radius. We've got Ponderosa over there. So I did make me a short list, and I can just on a 300-mile radius, I can probably hit 30 to 35 tracks within a 300-mile radius. So I'm hoping
you better hit Batesville next year.
That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list to hit down there one show. My plans is it's going to be big shows. Like, I don't want to go just to a regular event. I want to go to a big show, right? If I'm going to travel 3 hours, I don't want to go see 10 cars. I want you to, be a big show.
So in other words, we can tell Michael you're coming for the topless next year.
Possibility. Or the bad boy, Bad Boy 98. Man, I'll tell you what, I wish I could go down to Snowball this year. Snowball's probably going to have one of the best years this year. You're not going to have Kyle Busch, but you've got Eric Jones going to run it. I think you got Chase Elliott might try to jump in a car. You got Priest going to run a car this year. Snowball's really looking good for quality of drivers. Last time I saw, I think there was 50-something late models trying for a 40-car field, I think. So awesome. Snowflake got a bunch of Nashville guys going to Snowflake, so that'll be a good show to hit. So, but big things coming to Mid-South in 2022. Big things. Like I said, we're going to get a website up and going, keep you in the loop. Adding a short track podcast, and then having a NASCAR podcast. So we're going to have 2 podcasts a week. Probably going to try to keep this one on a Monday night. I think I like the Monday night deal and stuff. So the Monday night deal is going to be good, and then we'll add that other one, maybe a Wednesday night or something like that. So
I don't know. Monday may not be good. I don't know yet.
Well, we'll figure it out, and we'll get closer.
Yeah,
and stuff. So all right, before we end, we're going to have 2 things. Your best moment of NASCAR 2021 and your least favorite moment.
my best moment, honestly, was Kyle Larson. End of discussion. That man went through probably one of the worst things you could ever go through in a professional motorsport racer's career, of basically one slip up, and you lost your ride, you lost your sponsorship, you lost everything.
Lost your house.
And, to not know if you would ever race a cup car again, and then to come back in 2021 and not only race a cup car,
Dominate.
but dominate. 10 wins. There hasn't been somebody that's got 10 wins.
11.
Yeah, 11 if you count the All-Star race. 11 wins and a championship. I mean, you know what? When they showed him after he crossed the finish line and they showed him wiping the tears away from his eyes, you knew how much that championship meant to him. And he is so thankful and everything like that. And we got to see his wife shotgun another beer. I thought that was pretty good.
She shotgun like 6.
Yeah.
She shotgun and won at Victory Lane. Shotgun won it on the pit road. Shotgun won in the barn. Shotgun like 3 in Victory Lane. Matter of fact, she did. They like a bunch of photographers didn't get a good picture, so she shotgun more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Definitely by far that was best moment of this year. If I'm thinking about worst moment for NASCAR this year, I hand it probably to the COTA race, the Cup COTA race, I think this year. Unfortunately, that race was a disaster. It just the track got way too wet. They should have red flagged that race sooner than they did. I mean, we've talked about
Come
it on
back
the
tomorrow.
show. We've talked about it on the show. Cup cars, NASCAR should not be racing in rain. We shouldn't do it.
No.
It doesn't put on a good show. Don't do it.
Well, who
I
would
get
want
why they want to do it, but it doesn't really put on a good show. So I think that was probably my worst. Was probably that.
who want to go watch a race that's like 8-9 seconds off the actual pace of the race car?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, we said it. I mean, when Michael and you and me all said it after we reviewed the COTA race, we all said it was probably one of the worst races we had ever watched. And there was a debate. Well, should we go back to COTA? Well, we can't give COTA a fair shake at the stick after that race.
No.
Because the rain definitely played a huge factor in that race.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Hopefully we get good weather for it in 2022. But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know
Right.
what kind of racing we're going to see next year because we've got a totally new car.
Right.
I mean,
Uh,
2022 is going to be the year of the unknown.
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
Jerry said, it's going to be the year of the unknown when it comes to the Cup Series.
Right. My best of 2021 has got. I mean, yeah, you got to lay it on Kyle Larson's shoulders on that one. I mean, you can't. The year you saw, and you could take it beyond NASCAR. The year you saw, like I said before when I shared it, put the man in a late model, let him go out and run Snowball Derby, and go ahead and get your final touch of 2021, right? I know why he's not doing it now because he's going to Dubai for a Formula One race.
Yeah.
But to win 11 Cup races, and some weeks he went and ran a dirt race on a Saturday and win it. I mean,
you don't win the Chili Bowl, the Knoxville Nationals, the Kings Royal. What else did he win? Oh,
Prairie Classic.
He won some of the biggest dirt races of the year. These are dirt races that guys that race dirt their whole lives dream of winning.
Just want to win one. Yep. Just win one. And he won all that in 1 year. And stuff. Props to him. My worst of the year, and I'm going to say it's probably my worst probably for next year, is NASCAR's start times has got to be better. We're losing so many races due to rain because we can't have time for it to cancel.
Yeah.
Like if we start at 3:00 at Michigan, there's no chance for if it rains, you're done.
Yeah.
Don't put the jet dryers on there because you've already wasted too much time.
Yeah.
Get back to the noon start time. John, glad you can make it, man. I know you was racing. Saw your post, so glad you can make it. So that is my least. Now, what are you looking forward to the most in 2022?
Year of the unknown. I'm excited to see what we're going to end up getting. I mean, I think back to the Gen 6 debut, 2013, and I would even consider probably 2014 to be kind of that car's debut. And 2013 and 2014 put on some of the best racing that I had seen in years. And it was because it was a new car. Nobody had a total handle on it. Nobody had a total grip on it or anything like that. And I personally think that the Chevrolet SS, the Ford Fusion, and the Camry of those days were way more evenly matched than the Chevy Camaro ZL1 1LE that we have now, and the Mustang and the Camry that we have now. And those were some of the best races that I ever seen put on. And you know what? We had as much horsepower as you wanted and everything like that. And I thought that was some of the best racing. So I'm hoping for 2022 that because we've got a new car, nobody's going to have their handle on it, nobody's going to have their grip on it yet, that it's going to put on some of the best racing that we've seen.
I hope so. What I'm looking forward to the most in 2022, and it might surprise you, give me some practice and some qualifying for 2022. I'm so glad you're bringing it back. Now, here's the downside on it. I'm hearing it's only like 20 to 50 minutes, and the qualifying will be right for the race. I do not see how the tracks are making money. Xfinity racing, I could see that.
Now, Car 8. He's excited about Car 8. Josh Berry next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win some races, no doubt. I mean, he's probably gonna win 3 or 4, and stuff. But practice qualifying, I've heard Xfinity and Truck might not even get practice qualifying.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know.
I heard that it's still going to be one-day shows. Get them in, get them out. Look, if you're lower series, if you're super late model, big races like your Nashville Fairgrounds, your Snowball Derbies, if they can practice and qualify, why can't you big stars practice and qualify? It puts on a better show.
Yeah.
I mean, it puts on a better. You're hurting your campers, right?
Yeah.
You're hurting because are you going to pull a camper all the way from Canada down to Daytona for a one-day show?
No.
No, you're not going to do that. That's what I'm sure the tracks has got to be preaching. We're losing so much revenue, right? We need our campers back. They've got to do something about that. I think last year, which it was, I wouldn't say pandemic kind of year with 2021 in the Daytona, you still had to wear your mask or whatever, but campground was empty. I mean, it was pretty much empty.
Yeah.
All these tracks was empty on campgrounds where they usually be full. I mean, nobody wants to take. I hate to say it, but I think these tracks are getting a local crowd, so they're not getting your out of town crowds. You're getting your local stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope it's different this year. Bristol Dirt, I think it's going to be neat to see the new. I hope that ain't a disaster with the new cars. I mean, they need to do something because this tire's a lot wider, right? So that's going to be a new thing.
We should make one prediction for 2022. Joey Logano doesn't win a race next year.
Woo! Ouch.
I'm in trouble now.
Man. Joey Logano doesn't win a race.
Crazy, wild-eyed idea for next year.
Yep. Let's go. William Byron don't make the playoffs next year.
You're such a dick.
No. Honestly, my bold prediction is Harrison Burton goes out and wins 2 races.
Yeah, that would be a bold prediction.
Bold prediction. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bold prediction. I think that. I mean, it depends on what equipment that they really give him. Honestly, Cindric done the. Cindric's doing the right thing of coming up this year. Then last year, Chase Briscoe basically wasted a year in Cup.
Yeah.
he basically wasted a year in Cup. He should have been in Xfinity and try to win another title. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in week in and week out and stuff. Without y'all, we don't continue doing this. We enjoy what we're doing, but y'all give us your time. We hope we're entertaining y'all, giving y'all a little bit NASCAR insight. We're going to be better at it. We're looking to improve, looking to grow, and stuff. So we look forward to doing this week in, week out. It takes a lot of preparation, on my end, getting everything, ready to go and stuff, trying to keep up with it week in and week out. Matt keeps up with it, a lot more than I can. I try to catch a lot of the Sirius XM shows. Bob Pockris, that man never stops. No, he
doesn't.
He's got the inside scoop on everything. Looking forward to 2022. I think 2022 is going to be the year of unknowns, but also going to be a great year and stuff. This will be the last show of the year, so happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas,
Happy New Year.
and Happy New Year. We hope to see everybody back in December and stuff. January. Be back in January and stuff. I don't know. We might, if I can get some drivers, I might jump on here and I might do a snowball preview show in 2 weeks. I don't know. If I can get some snowball guys to come on, I might do a snowball derby preview. So that'd be pretty neat to get together. I'll probably put that out in a couple weeks and stuff. But guys, anything more before we get off here?
No,
Wrap up
it's been a good year. I've enjoyed doing it, and you know what? Next year, hopefully, we'll be able to get this back to a weekly show.
It will be a weekly show next year.
Keep you guys in the loop, and you never know, some familiar faces might pop back in here once in a while too to give their take on some dirt. So
yeah, we're gonna we'll pop in some dirt stuff here and there. We're looking to bring some guests on next year and stuff. That always might add some excitement to the show. We're gonna do do some giveaways for sure next year.
and just make sure you haven't packed the clown suit away yet, there, boy.
Yep. That will be a segment on you know what, I think next year I think we need to do that. I think next year we need to just randomly draw a driver, and then we need to random draw something that we have to do for the next show. Random draw a driver, random draw the next show. We know each other thing before the race starts.
Oh yeah, because I know everybody loved to see us make absolute total fools of ourselves.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure. Thank y'all for a good 2021. Here comes 2022. Before you know it, it'll be here. Like Larry Mack says, what is it, 97 days or 98 days left? It's somewhere around there. That's to the Daytona 500. I leave in under 90 days. I'm leaving Valentine's Day. I'm leaving Valentine's Day. I'm flying down. I love you, honey, but I'm sorry. If you want to catch a Waffle House at 3:00 in the morning, I'm all down for it. But other than that, I ain't doing it. And so I'm flying down. On Monday, the February 14th. I'm flying back on the 21st. I will get the Daytona 500 in. I promise you, I'm watching the Daytona 500 this year because last year I got snowed out. I have the worst luck at Daytona. I've been there 4 times, and I've yet to see a cup race. No, 3 times. I've yet to see a Cup race.
Well, make sure you see next year's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I went down for the 2019 Coke 400. I went for the 2020 Daytona 500, and I went for the 2021 Daytona 500. And all I saw is a duel and 33 laps in a Cup race. Bittersweet. All right, guys. See y'all in January.
Yep, you bet. Have a good one, guys.